Hey everyone, today we're finishing up our review of the Casper mattress. So as some of you may know, the Casper's been around for a while. In 2014 they really took off and kind of paved the way for the internet mattress companies. We're excited. We have the newest model here to talk about today. We've got a lot of good information to share with you. We're going to first talk about how the mattress is constructed. We'll do a few tests for you guys. We'll show you how it performs, and then we'll give you our final recommendation on who we think should consider trying the Casper. Alright, well let's get to it. Alright guys, up first we're going to talk about the construction of the newest model of the Casper. So they've gone through a couple variations. They started off with a 3-layer mattress where they used an aerated latex on the top layer, followed up by memory foam and then a foam core. And then they switched it up and did a variation of different transition foams. And then now the newest model, they've actually removed the latex and put in a high performance polyfoam layer that kind of has the same properties of latex, but I'm not 100% sure why they decided to remove the latex altogether. But the top layer of the newest model is 1.5 inches of a high performance polyfoam, followed up by 1.5 inches of 4-pound memory foam. So it's a good dense, nice quality memory foam. And then they have a transition layer here of polyfoam and then a foam core. So it's a total of 10 inches thick. And the performance of this foam, as you can see, if I push it down, the transition layer and the top foam layer pop up almost immediately. That middle memory foam layer is going to take a bit longer. That layer being underneath, typically regular memory foam like this gets warm and absorbs heat, and it can sleep a little warmer than some foams. But what they've done here is put it below the polyfoam layer, so that's going to help actually take heat out of that top layer and keep it down here versus being real hot on the very top of the mattress that you're more in contact with. One other thing that looks like they've done here is they moved the zipper on the mattress. So the zipper's on the very top, which makes it very easy to remove this cover and throw it in the wash. So that's a nice feature that they've added as well. Up next, I'm just going to simply lay on the mattress and kind of explain to you guys what I'm feeling, how it performs in all 3 sleeping positions. So I'll get started. I'll first lay on my back. So what I notice immediately is the top 1.5 inches of that polyfoam sinks in immediately. And then when I hit that memory foam layer, that layer you can feel just takes a few seconds to kind of conform to the curves of your body. But I notice right away it does conform nicely into my lumbar, so it gives me good lumbar support. I would say this is about a 7 out of 10, with 10 being the firmest. So it is a medium feel, but I think toward the firmer side of medium. So I'll lay on my side quick. So I'm not getting a ton of pressure pushing back up on my shoulders and my hips, but I would say for me personally, as a side sleeper, I would maybe look for something that's a little bit softer than this. For those of you that like to switch it up throughout the night, I still think it works good enough for side sleeping, but just keep that in mind. If you're a side sleeper, the majority of the time, I would probably look for something that's a little bit softer than this. And if I flip onto my stomach, so this will perform really well for stomach and back sleepers for sure. It is a little bit on the firmer side. For stomach sleeping, you know, a lot of people like really firm. This to me is a good firmness for stomach sleeping because you still have some pressure relief on your ribs. You're not going to get sore ribs, which can happen for me if I'm stomach sleeping on something that's extremely firm. So I would say overall, as far as sleeping positions go, this will perform, like I said, pretty good for those of you that are going to be switching it up throughout the night. I would personally say if you are a side sleeper the majority of the time to potentially look for something that's a little bit softer. Up next, we're going to take a look at the motion reduction and just the foam response on the mattress in general. So first we'll push on the foam with my hand here. And just to give you a sense of how fast that foam responds, as you can see the top layer and the third layer pop up immediately. That middle memory foam layer is going to take a little bit longer to pop up. But overall, it has pretty good fast response time having a polyfoam on the top versus having like a memory foam on the top. So if I get on here and just roll and adjust positions, the foam behind me pops up pretty quick, and it's a relatively firm mattress, so you're not going to have any troubles adjusting positions or anything. Whereas if you had like 5 inches of memory foam, this hole that I was rolling from would take a lot longer to pop back up. But you won't have any issues with that on the Casper. Grab my bottle here and my weight. We'll just simply drop that and give you a sense of the motion transfer. So being a foam mattress, you're not going to have a lot of motion if you have a partner that moves around a lot. You won't feel that movement as much as you would on like an inner spring. So if you or your partner moves around a lot, a foam mattress will be a good choice for you to not feel that movement quite as much. So overall, the Casper performs pretty well for motion reduction, and the foam response is pretty good on it as well. It does have memory foam in there, but it's buried a layer down, so you're not going to have any trouble rolling about, adjusting positions, or getting a stuck feeling in the mattress. We're going to switch gears a little bit here and talk about edge support. So if you've watched a number of my videos or a few of my videos, you'll see that I like to put an emphasis on edge support, and I like to look at how easily a mattress will bottom out. Obviously, when your weight is dispersed laying down, it's not going to bottom out as easily as like when I'm doing this. But generally what it tells me is that it's a thinner mattress, obviously, but then a lot of times the foam cores in these 10-inch mattresses aren't exactly super high end or super high density over a 2.0 PCF or higher. Most of the time they're 1.8 or lower. If they are firmer, a lot of times the mattress is hard to get the right feel and the mattress will feel too firm. So a lot of these will utilize a little bit softer foam core, and ultimately what that does is it limits the body weights that can use the mattress. So I think on their website, I believe it says 450 pounds or 250 pounds for an individual. They'll recommend not going above that. And I think that's about right. If you are a heavier person above 250, I would definitely recommend getting something that's thicker or has a better, more dense foam core in it. With that said, we'll take a look at the edge support. So in the seated position, I'm not really ever that worried about it because I don't do a whole lot of putting my clothes on or anything like that on the edge of the bed. But as I sit here, the top comfort layers obviously sink in fairly easily, and then when I hit the foam core, it's pretty supportive underneath. I'm more worried about it in the laying down position, whether or not I feel like I'm rolling out of the bed as I'm laying close to the edge. So I'll go ahead and try that out. I'll do two things here where I'll lay, on the extreme edge, which isn't realistic because most people aren't going to be laying right on the edge. If I'm right on the edge, I'm definitely getting a roll feeling, ejected feeling. If I'm a little more realistic, give myself a few inches on the edge. In that position, I'm not getting that ejected roll out of the bed feeling at all. So, in my opinion, for edge support, it performs well where it needs to. Where it is important is on a full size or a queen size. If there's two of you, you don't have as much room as on a king mattress, so you're going to be pushed closer to the edge. As long as you're not hanging over the edge, you shouldn't have issues with edge support on the Casper. Up next, we're going to briefly talk about temperature regulation. So the Casper, what they've done to help fend against overheating on their mattress is putting that memory foam layer underneath the top comfort layer. If the memory foam was on the very top, that foam is typically a foam that will trap heat worse than other types of foams. But being that they have the performance poly layer above that, the memory foam layer will actually help draw heat out of that top layer and keep it below where it's not in contact with your body on the top foam layer. So overall, the Casper mattress will sleep pretty cool. In addition to that, you're not getting a lot of sinkage with the Casper mattress. Therefore, more of your body is still exposed to the air, where you're not sinking way far down into the mattress. So it should be a mattress that sleeps pretty cool for most of you out there. So in terms of price, the twins come in at $550, the fulls for $400, the queens are $950, and then the kings come in at $1150. The mattress also offers free shipping, free returns with a 100-night sleep trial, and they also offer a 10-year warranty on the Casper. Alright guys, so overall I feel like the Casper mattress performs pretty well. It is overall a good mattress for all three sleeping positions. As I noted earlier, if you are a side sleeper only, I would definitely look for a softer option. If you are somebody that is 250 pounds or more, you'll certainly go on to look for a different option. I've got options that I suggest for heavier sleepers on mattressinsiders.com, so check that out. So ultimately, if you are one of those people that are looking for that middle of the road feel, not a traditional mattress feel, but not a traditional memory foam feel, this is a good option for that. Because the memory foam is buried a little bit deeper, you don't get quite as much of a sinking body hug as you would on a traditional memory foam mattress. But then also having that bouncier layer on the top, it still gives you a good amount of bounce. But if you're somebody that is seeking really good pressure relief, I think you might want to look somewhere else. And if you are somebody that is side sleeping only, same thing, you might want something that's a little bit softer. But for that sweet spot kind of in the middle, you're not wanting a full-on memory foam mattress or a full-on inner spring traditional mattress, this could be a good option for you. One thing that I question personally, just coming from the mattress industry, is what made them choose to remove the latex layer. In my opinion, latex performs really well and is very durable. In addition to that, the latex was aerated, which I like. It helps with airflow. Now, I did feel the original version of the Casper. I never slept on it, but they almost feel identical. So if you didn't know the difference, whether one had latex or one had the performance poly, you probably wouldn't